Welcome to the Struggle Series podcast with your host, Anthony Corelli.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Struggle Series podcast. I am your host, Anthony, and tonight we will be jumping right back into our new novel entitled Friend. Before we get to that, however, just want to give you a quick reminder. Please check out our other podcast entitled Grace for the Unlovable. That podcast is designed to help those who have done something wrong. Something was done to them. They're full of shame and guilt, and they need a place to go and tell their story judgment-free because they feel unlovable, or maybe they've been even deemed unlovable. That podcast can be heard in the same place that you listen to this podcast every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So without further ado, let's jump into Chapter 8, entitled, Where Do We Go From Here? Bruce sat back on the couch as he struggled to think. What just happened? In the matter of a few minutes, he went from having hope to utter hopelessness. He could hear the others talking around him. He felt like he was underwater. He couldn't focus. He felt like he was losing his grip on reality. Alice saw that he was completely catatonic and made her way over to where he was sitting. She quietly spoke. Bruce, I know that what just happened was traumatizing. I understand you want to check out, but you can't. Your son needs you now more than ever. That seemed to bring him back to the room in an instant. He said, I never meant for any of that to happen. How was I supposed to know that that was his wife? He wasn't even the person we originally called. He was referred to us. I would have never called him if I would have known. What are the odds of all the people on planet Earth? It would be him that showed up at our house. Alice responded, Exactly. What are the odds? They're astronomical, I'm sure. That's how we know that this was all part of a demonic scheme. Please understand what I'm going to say next. I love Terrence. I love his wife. With that being said, he should have recused himself from this case. We all should have recognized that he was not going to be able to help you. Even before he knew that it was you that assaulted Monique, we could all see that he was struggling. It was just too close to home for him. We should have spoken up sooner. Thank you so much for saying that, Alice. That means more to me than you will ever know. I'm so sorry for what I did. I've been carrying that burden for years. I guess I deserved what I got and more. I just don't know what to do now. Who's going to help us? Where do we go from here? Just then, Ben spoke up and said, Bruce, I know you're not going to believe this, but we're not going to give up on you. I guess I can't speak for Alice, but God has put a huge burden on my heart for your family. I hate what you did in the past, but I believe you are a different man now. I see how much you love your son. I see what you were willing to do to help him. You were honest when most people would have remained silent. I can respect that. Listen, I'm willing to help you without Pastor Atkins' assistance. We have been working with him for a long time. We know how to help in cases like this. If you're willing to work with us, we will help. Right, Alice? Alice nodded in agreement. Bruce sobbed uncontrollably. Just then, Madeline and Pastor Fitzgerald joined the conversation. Ben filled them in on the agreement to continue to help without Terrence. Father Fitzgerald said, The diocese doesn't even really know I'm here, so I'm still off the hook for now. As long as they don't find out that I'm neck deep in this thing, I'm still on the board. Madeline thanked him. Ben said, I'm going to ask you for a favor. If you say no, we will still help you no matter what. I would like you to drop the charges against Terrence. He would lose his position at the church, and the church would also suffer. If you agree to do that, I will go to the elders and make sure that they give him a forced sabbatical so he can get himself together. Is that something you would consider? Bruce looked at Madeline for guidance. She said, I love you, Bruce. I know that what you did was wrong. I also know that you're a different man now. I know how much you love me and Maddie. I will back you up with whatever you decide. I only ask that you see it from his side. He just found out that the man that hurt his wife was standing right in front of him. If the roles were reversed, you would have done the same, don't you think? Bruce wasn't reluctant to forgive Terrence for the outburst. Of course, he would have done the same thing. His only concern was Terrence's ability to let it go. They had enough problems with the demon pursuing their son. The last thing they needed was an angry husband coming after him. Seeming to sense his reluctance, Ben said, I will also make sure that Terrence stays away. The demon would love nothing more than to cause another distraction. We will meet tomorrow and try to end this thing for good. Do we have a deal? Bruce walked over to Detective Wilson and informed him that he wanted all charges against Terrence dropped. Detective Wilson agreed. He said, Bruce, I know that you believe there's a demon after your kid, but you have to understand that this whole thing is getting out of control. It doesn't look good from the outside. You called this team over here, and now we have a murdered kid. On top of that, you admitted to some sort of crime. It was in another state, so it's not my jurisdiction. I don't know what the statute of limitations is in that state, but this could become a lot worse for you. Dropping these charges may help you calm the situation down. I'll be pulling for you. A new wave of concern washed over Bruce. It had not dawned on him that Terrence and his wife could choose to press charges against him. As he contemplated the potential crisis, he heard a voice in his head.
I told you that you should have chosen death. You should have never been honest with these religious hypocrites. They told you that you would not be judged. They lied. When you are sitting in prison, you will wish that you would have listened to me. Unless, of course, you choose death tonight. I can assure you, it will only get worse.
Bruce felt a chill go up his spine. Ben walked over and said, Let us say a quick prayer to try and keep this thing at bay for one more night. Then Alice and I have to head to the police station to help Terrence and Derek. They prayed and then said their goodbyes. When Bruce closed the door behind them, he felt a chill in the air. He looked at Madeline and Maddie and said, We are all sleeping in one room tonight. They all agreed. While the Parker Police Department was distracted by the events surrounding the Griego family, a group of demons met at a local park. This was not a casual gathering. This was a meeting. A very large demon walked through a portal and joined the group. When it appeared, the others cowered at its presence. It spoke.
I see that the plan is still in progress. It seems like overall, things are progressing on schedule. Who wants to fill me in on the details?
A demon of moderate size spoke up.
Overall, we've been able to push past the attempts of the enemies, and we are right on schedule for the next phase. We were able to immobilize the holy man who was sent to help. It was actually brilliant. One of our soldiers uncovered that the man Bruce had actually harmed the wife of the holy man several human years earlier. The holy man was enraged. He will not be returning to help this family. We only have to deal with the pastor's helpers. They should be no problem. Be careful of being arrogant. The one called Alice is close to our enemies. She has his favor. He will intervene on her behalf. Keep working on them and do not let up. Master Satan has a much bigger plan at work here, way bigger than you realize. You know your assignments. Do not fail.
Another smaller demon spoke up.
We are ready to take the boy. We know that he is valuable to you and your plan, sir. We have everything in place and are certain that we will have him by the end of the night. We will not fail.
The large demon grinned an evil grin and said,
Great. We will soon have all of the pieces in place. As long as we follow orders, we will help Master Satan reach his objective.
The demons laughed maniacally as they seethed. Their hatred of humans fueled their desire to succeed. Master Satan would be more than pleased with all of them once their objective was met. Terrence sat in the holding cell waiting for Madeline to bail him out. He thought about what the elders were about to say and do. He would more than likely lose his job. He thought, was it worth it? What was I supposed to do? Was this all part of the demonic scheme? In that moment, he knew that the demon had played them all. He didn't know what to feel. Just then, an officer walked in and said, "Terrence Atkins, you are free to go." I made bail? No, sir. You are free to go. Mr. Griego informed us that he did not want to press charges at this time. Just remember, he could change his mind, so don't go back there and cause more trouble. Just go home, think about your options, and go from there. If I were you, I would thank your God. We could have gotten you on attempted murder. You did make a threat that showed your intentions. I can't tell you what to do, but I advise you to stay away. I hope you take that advice. Terrence walked out into the lobby just in time to see Monique walk in. He informed her that Bruce had agreed to drop the charges. They hugged and then walked out into the parking lot together. They sat in the car and cried as they contemplated the situation. They had a lot to process. Derek sat in an interrogation room for the next 5 hours, answering the same questions over and over again. He was tired, but he did not want to show it. He wanted the officers to know that they would not get him to confess. The detectives took a break and sat in a room adjacent to the interrogation room. They looked through the two-way glass, staring at Derek as they talked. Detective Wilson spoke up and said, "I don't know if he had anything to do with it, but his story has not changed at all. He doesn't really have an alibi for the time of the murder, but there is no way we can pin this on him. We have zero evidence." Another detective said, "My gut tells me it wasn't him. He doesn't fit the mold. Plus, he has no motive whatsoever. He has no prior history of any crimes, let alone something like this. I say we can keep an eye on him, but we aren't getting anywhere with this guy. I say we kick him loose for now." They all agreed, and he was sent on his way. He walked out into the lobby and was ready to call an Uber. Before he could pull up the app, he saw Alice and Ben sitting in the lobby. They hugged each other and then went to an all-night breakfast place. They had a lot to talk about. A dark figure creeped down the hall without making a sound. Soon it stood in the doorway of the boy's room. The boy slept peacefully and was unaware of what was about to occur. The figure then checked on the parents one last time. They were fast asleep. With the precision of a highly trained soldier, the mission was completed without incident. The boy was given a dose of chloroform and put into a deep sleep. He was then removed from the house and placed in the back of a van. He would be used as a sacrifice at a later time, at the right time. He was chosen due to his innocence. He wasn't like the other boys. He was kind, compassionate, and he treated everyone with respect. This type of innocence made his blood more valuable than other boys his age. He was the perfect specimen. When the boy woke up, he was being held in a dark room. He screamed, but there was no one to hear him. Escape was impossible. His fate was sealed, even though he didn't know it. That morning, his mother called out to him when he didn't report for breakfast. After repeated attempts to summon him, she finally became frustrated and stormed up the stairs. She angrily flung his door open and shouted, "It's time to get up. We have a long day ahead of us." He was not in his room. She then went to the bathroom, but he was not there either. She called for her husband to join the search. It only took about 3 minutes to realize that he was gone. The panic ensued. She went over to the phone and called 911. When the dispatcher asked, "911, what is your emergency?" she responded, "My name is Andrea Davis. I need to report my son Ryan. He's missing." This program is written, narrated, and produced by me, Anthony M. Corelli. This program is copyright The Struggle, LLC. Shout out to Todd Kazinka with Todd K. Voiceovers. If you have questions about this program or any of our other programs, you could reach out to us at the Struggle Series Podcast at gmail.com. You can also check out our website, thestruggleseries.com. Remember, there are many things in this world to fear that we don't understand, but God says, "Take heart, I have overcome the world." Thank you for listening, and may God bless you and bring you peace. Good night.
Thank you for listening to the Struggle Series Podcast. Please like, subscribe, and tell a friend. We will see you next time.